Oh, yeah, nobody's looking. Springtime.
I need to look at that. I really do, because
Yeah, hell yeah.
wrecking vehicles, because this police department's
Yeah,
on
I'm sure you'll
Tahoe's
miss it, but
too.
you get that Jeep, it'll be okay.
Oh,
It's there, but Diane's showing
Yeah.
35,000. I think when we redid this,
Yeah.
when Paige redid this for us,
Mhm.
it didn't get reflected back over there. Does that make sense? I don't know.
yeah.
It's always one.
Well taken care of.
I know, right? Sorry. I'm leaving.
Can I keep this?
It's just a letter stating
And you only live once.
You got a copy.
You know what I mean?
restored.
Hey,
I know there's not much room there, is there?
I tried to email it.
I
The
hear you.
file's too big.
That'd be fun.
Thank you.
It'd be good. I got in trouble.
Okay.
I went to the bank and got some money
okay,
out.
did he get them
Josh
too?
has one too.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Days before meeting, so I already have it done.
Okay,
You can just let me
I don't know. I signed it different.
can I do it tomorrow?
I do too, the same way.
I will.
Post it on Facebook and take a
I
poll.
was never asked this question.
I'm just kidding.
That would be nightmare.
I don't really like that one. Take a walk. It kind of sounds like take a hike.
I said that too, but I think with the.
Okay with you? Okay with you?
I don't
Or
know.
you
I
could
just
put
saw it.
trails. I just don't like the wording. Other than that, though, I like these.
Are we gonna get a better looking sign than
No
this?
pictures of bees on that elevation.
You know how to run a copy machine, right?
Oh,
That's just an
Go ahead
example.
and hit start.
this jar chair.
What don't you like about it?
The color.
Get you a different one.
All of those are brown usually. The type of signs they are brown.
How are you?
Have you not noticed that?
Uh-oh.
The type of sign. Like go down, look at John Wooden Way, it's the same thing.
It's another reason not to go with brown.
Okay.
Martinsville has.
There we go, it's better. That's good stuff.
That's true.
No, I just seen him. Oh.
Well,
Another thank you card.
Jeff. Welcome everyone to the Mooresville Town Council chambers. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for an invocation. All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear God, as we gather this evening, this council asks for strength, courage, and wisdom. We thank you for this wonderful town we live in and the privilege that it is to serve it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Call to order the Tuesday, April 18th meeting of the Mooresville Town Council. Gentlemen have had a chance to read the minutes from our previous meetings. I will take a motion to approve the minutes from the regular session April 4th meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes as written for the regular session meeting, April 4th.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0. We also have before us the minutes from our executive session. We've had a chance to review that. I need a motion to either approve or amend.
I make the motion we approve the minutes from the executive session, April 4th.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Name 5-0.
Under unfinished business, ordinance 3/2023, the PACE fund. Again, this is, Chief, were you able to get a hold of anyone to do?
Yeah, so Brian Cage went through all the cases, and I know which ones we may owe money to and which ones we don't. That's already been settled. The only wrench that was kind of thrown into it, I guess there was some property that was seized. It was given to the county to be auctioned off, and we don't know if they auctioned it yet and if they received funds from that. So I think I'm just going to hit the brakes on it for a little bit till I figure all this out. It's kind of a mess, so I need to go with the county and figure out what if they've auctioned it off, if they haven't auctioned it off, when they're going to auction it off, and what we need to do with the property. So
I think that's good because we do have a dollar amount on there, so indefinitely, you just want to pull the request.
yeah, I'm gonna pull the request for now and then resubmit it later once I figure everything out.
Okay, well, we need no action on that because you're not requesting any action.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the Sammy L. Davis Medal of Honor Award. The gentleman should have received an email. Was from Beth
Yes.
on what our options are. And Shane, you brought this to the council. It does have ways to completely rename the street, and then we would have to determine whether we wanted that to be from the county line, work with the county all the way up to High Street, or whether we just want it to be a small section there, or how we want to do that. We also, it gives you options or tasks that you would have to do as far as changing it officially to that, as far as getting the post office to recognize it as a mailing address. Any businesses that were on it would have to undergo the expense of changing any logos, advertising, or anything that they've done in the past. I don't know what your thought process was on.
It looked to me, and Joel, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked to me like you had two options. One was via ordinance, which is what he's talking about, and one was via resolution to just do an honorary naming, and that would be what I'm talking about, is an honorary thing that would not change addresses.
Yeah.
I'm okay with wherever. I mean, I would prefer it to be from Hendricks County line all the way into that whole stretch, all the way to High Street. But if there's an issue with the county, we had talked about doing it from the first, the town line, so to speak.
So you would have control over what the naming rights would be within the town, and you could designate it by resolution to be an honorary way or something of that nature without changing the 911 address. But if you want to change the name of the road, so looking at this, the ordinance would change the name of the road for 911 purposes. A resolution would simply designate it, saying, hey, this is, this road, but we're calling it Sammy L. Davis.
There's a lot of addresses through there. My preference would be the easier route of the resolution, where it wouldn't cause, and you would just direct signage, correct? If you named it by resolution.
Correct, and you want to be careful with the signage because you don't want to create a situation in which causes confusion. So, normally what happens is at the beginning of it, and on both sides, you say this stretch. You see it on the highways, like the Korean War Veterans Memorial Way, things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's still the highway, but that section is recognized.
Wouldn't be an actual street sign.
It's not right. It's not an actual street sign. That'd be a different recognition sign that you have.
Banning offered to help us design something at no charge, and this was just something he threw together real roughly. He was saying that it would probably be on 2 posts rather than 1, and he can present ideas to the council on what they want it to look like. This was just an example. If you call it, like he was going to name it Sammy L. Davis Medal of Honor Way, does that help designate it as an honorary thing if you call it way rather than street, or?
Not necessarily, but I mean, it won't matter regardless, because if you take action by resolution, you could name it technically whatever. You guys are just gonna have to agree as to what you wanna call it. As long as we're not doing it by way of ordinance, which would then affect the 911 addresses, then, you know, it doesn't matter.
So what would be the next step? How much time would we have? Like, we're working on the signage in that area now. We're working on that area. You know, we just accepted a bid to redo that area. Should we deal with this as a part of that project, or he's going to come in February of next year? I just wanted to get ahead of it so that we're not having all these discussions last minute.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at February, we have plenty of time. A resolution can be acted on first reading.
Okay.
So you don't have to do that, but, you know, our next steps is we can prepare a resolution just for your consideration that you can get to be looking at, but what we will need, really the next steps are, you know, a determination. Are we talking about town limit to town limits, so only the stretch of the road that's going to be in the town limits, or are you wanting to reach out to the county?
I'm fine either way. I don't know what other people think.
Like, I can reach out to Josh Messmer, see if there's any interest in the county in doing something like that.
Will it be Hendricks County?
Right, it's,
No, it would be Morgan.
It'd be Morgan?
Yeah.
Oh, for
County
the
lines.
stretch in between. Do you
Right.
have to reach out to Hendricks as well?
no, we would only be talking about ours.
Okay, just that, what is that, a half a mile or mile stretch?
So we
Okay.
would, I can reach out to see if they would have any desire to partake in that. And, you know, if he says, yeah, I think there may be some pushback, then we'll prepare the ordinance or the resolution for within the town boundaries.
So you just put it back off the intersection where it doesn't involve Hendricks at all?
Correct.
Okay. Does the council want me to approach Banning for designs, or just have them create a few different types of signs?
Like he said, it will be Memorial Road, Memorial, I think we have to get the language correct where it is obvious that we're doing it in his honor, but we're not doing it officially. Just like you said, along the highway, Korean War Veterans Memorial Highway, Samuel L. Davis Memorial Way, or something like that. Is that the way you see it?
He's not past those.
Well,
I
okay,
don't
so
think
that's
you
what I
want
was
to do
just gonna ask,
memorial.
because I didn't, so, yeah. However you guys want to name it, obviously, if you have a memorial, we had one of these things in where they want to name it Anthony Thompson Memorial Way. I'm just like, well, he's still alive, right?
Yeah.
And so, it's just Anthony Thompson Way right in front of his high school, because he played at IU, got to the NFL, all that kind of stuff. So, but you will have to come up with a name, and you may want to reach out, if you're going to give this honor to them, you may want to reach out to him and the family to say, hey, do you have any preferences as to how you would like this named?
I can do that if you want me to. He's been in contact with the 200th anniversary committee already.
Yeah.
I don't know if the council likes the wording of this here, at least as far as the wording goes, or does it have some other idea?
You said Banning could work with that, and like he said, reach out to him and see what he sees.
Okay.
Fit.
I
don't
can
think
do
you're going
that.
to get any pushback from the council.
Okay.
I think we can just move forward once we have the name, once we have the
Okay.
designated area, whether we just want it to be, right there, kind of next to Memorial Drive.
Yes.
That's kind of a big deal. So you'll move forward on that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Up next, Matt. your, on the ladder and engine repair cost, greater than little arrows and equal signs all messed up. You're looking at $10,000 versus $1.5 million, and $1.5 million on a possibly 18 months, but more likely 2 to 3 year time frame. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
In a year's time, no, we don't. The ladder trucks have always been bought on the what if scenario, and when we purchased the second ladder, the conversation was, do we want to replace that ladder and get rid of it completely, or do we want to have a backup ladder for the just in cases? The repairs that you saw on that, or that you're quoting on that, or the hydraulic outriggers. I think one of them did show 2 outriggers that were going to be done, or a total of 3 cylinders. Is that correct?
Right. The Indy Hydraulics, they went off of basically the recommendation of our crews that saw where the leaks were coming from. Hoosier Equipment, we basically took to their shop. They set it all up. They actually found one other outrigger that was starting to leak, and that's why there is 3 leaks on this. So Indy Hydraulics wasn't able to get back down and basically give us what that's going to be.
And on the second one, and I don't know what truck, what engine that is.
That is the 93 engine, which would be engine 13, yes, sir.
And that amount of money will put that back up into good operating service.
That is my understanding.
Talk to the people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to look for it. I had it all over here in the same paper.
And I guess our problem is, because of busy lives and everything like that, and callbacks and getting people back into our station, it's really tough to send out more than 2, sometimes, if we're lucky, 3 pieces of apparatus. But the other side of it is, if we would happen to go an agency assist, we would have those trucks back here if we had anyone come in for standby. Is that the theory of having the extra trucks, or?
I believe so. When I started, we've always had the 5 trucks, 3 engines, 1 ladder, and a squad. And actually, I saw a picture earlier, and we had 6 trucks. And it's always been that way. Again, like I explained to the council and some of you on the phones that called me earlier, is that we're lucky to get, as you said, people come back in. We can get 2 trucks out the door sometimes. Sometimes we're not that lucky because of staffing. And then sometimes the crews come back in and pick up that extra truck if they have to go out on a run with when the other crews are out taking care of other runs.
It's just in its infancy as far as the talks on the mergers. But one of the things that I remember before then, we were looking at if, one of the things that Mooresville never has had or never needed was a tanker. It's kind of limited. They've got a larger tank pumper than what we have. If we would happen to stumble upon the merger, would the need or the type of equipment that we would need change?
Eventually, but my understanding with talking with Rex Morley and passing and stuff, they are actually in the process of selling that engine or getting ready to build another engine and get that one replaced, is what you're talking about. I think it's like 15,000 gallons of water. But yes, to answer your question, it would be, if that merger does happen, then we would have to start looking at different options. And I think they have a brush truck, which we wouldn't have to purchase or anything like that. Excuse me. And then all that stuff would kind of change back and forth and going forward.
Any other comments or questions for Matt from the council, Jeff?
No, so are we planning ahead, I mean, for what we possibly might purchase now for not only us?
I'm bringing it to you guys for more heads to think about this for the future. And as I explained on the phone with you earlier today, the ladder is the 94 ladder is an old truck. It's 29 years old. It does serve a purpose when the year 2019 ladder goes out of service. It does serve a purpose. We used it for almost a year while the other one was getting refixed because of an accident. To keep it. The engine, I'm leaving that into your guys' decision. I've made my recommendation of getting rid of that one and keeping at least 2 engines and 2 ladders, and then replacing one of them when it comes time to replace it, which was that 2008 vehicle or the engine.
I think we need to spend the $10,000 and get the 2 back up to function in case we need them. However, like Jeff's saying and Tommy, with that merger coming, we don't know what's going to happen and what we're going to need. So we'll have to revisit everything again. But it's a no-brainer. We need to spend the $10,000 to fix these up. And then the long term too, resale value would only help them if they're running.
Shane?
Is that what you want to do? Is that what do you agree with that assessment?
I think that, and that's why I brought it up last meeting, is that I don't know if we're able to sell the vehicles at broke. The resale value is good, like Brown is saying, because they are fixed and back up and operational. Again, with thinking about that and moving forward with getting them fixed, might have to come back because of our budget being so low and the cost of everything of going up. Might have to ask a little bit of help again later down in the future of, hey, I need a little bit more reappropriation into our maintenance budget just to make sure that our trucks are up and running for ladder testing. I think it's like $15,000 just for the aerial device alone and all the ladders on that to test the ladders. I know we're scheduling right now all of our apparatuses that are operational right now for maintenance and stuff and pump service testing.
Okay, deal with one issue at a time for me. The issue, or you want to do that or no?
Yes, I mean,
With the understanding of what you just described.
yes.
Okay, what's the next replacement engine, a new one eventually, or is it the ladder?
With the way that the capital improvement stuff that you guys looked at with Page's recommendations, it is slated, and I actually was wrong, it is actually slated for 2026, not 2025. So I was wrong on that last council meeting, and I
Okay.
apologize. So it'd be an engine.
At what point do you think the ladder needs to be replaced?
Recommendations across the board is 10 years, but that's way in the future. So you're looking
Okay.
at 2031.
Like I say, it's 3 cylinders, they noticed an extra cylinder.
Right. When they actually extended everything out, and they noticed the one was starting to leak as they had it out there looking at the 2 that we knew of.
And IHI just has
Just the 2.
provisions for 2 cylinders.
Correct.
So we would have to go back and get a quote.
Again, with Indy Hydraulics, they're using our fire department, and we don't know. They're going to take it apart, go up to their shop, fix it, bring it back, and if there's something wrong, they'll have to take it back up there, so we don't know how long it could be down or tore apart in our garage or in our firehouse. With Hoosier, it's going to be basically up there, and it's in their way.
I think on the engine, the last time, we did take kind of a bath on the engine the last time as far as the, last one that we sold, but it was I think that went overseas somewhere.
Correct.
We sold a squad that was, I think that with the engine, I think it's enclosed cab, I think that, if it's up and running, there's a lot of departments that would be interested in it. I think we can get it's a value added for us. I think we can still use it if we need to, and I would be all for, repairing both pieces to have fire protection in the town of Mooresville. Then we'll start in, maybe Jeff and I will have a better for his pieces of equipment. That would be my recommendation. Is there anyone that wants to make a motion to have him either stop, move forward, or, table again?
Motion to move forward on the repairs for what we have.
Back more bids, or just give him the leeway to have it done and have it done correctly? Motion been made, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Great job. I saw that there's a different quote up here. Can you
So,
explain that?
yes, I apologize. That quote actually came, in quote I gave you in your packet on Thursday. It was $8,100. We did go back and ask, all three dealerships if they would, throw in some warranty work, tires, whatever. Reynolds were the only with basically about almost $200 cheaper. So that's why that other bid was there. That's $7,900.
On these quotes here that you provided for us, you went back and said, hey, can you do any better? And John Deere said yes. And this is the same apples to apples. It's the same tractor, down.
$192.
Okay. And then at Halton's, on Halton's there, tax exempt rebate, is that taking off? Because do we get a $400 rebate?
It's exempt, so that's where they took it off.
So they take off $400 for the tax exempt, and then do we gotta pay them to take the used Toro? Cause
They're giving us a $500 trade-in of value, and that's what that price of $84.99 is.
So if
Yeah,
mathing, is it? Because if we take the $83.99 and we subtract $900, now, had you already seen that?
I saw that, and I
Asked them?
asked, and I don't think they caught it and didn't understand.
That math doesn't work either. So, I mean, because I'm thinking if it's $83.99, we take $900 off of it. Is that the way you would see that?
But I would have saw that. When I talked to them on the phone, they said, no, your price was $84.
And the other one, Plainfield Equipment, $78.56. And then do we take the $500 off of that? Because on the next page, it has a $500
Right.
trade-in. So,
That is correct.
So theirs is $73.56?
Correct. Captain Shelby actually trade-in value stuff. So I asked if they did trade-in value, and they said yes, if you give us the pictures of them for Plainfield Equipment.
So you're seeing Plainfield Equipment's at dollars. Is that right?
$23.56.
That's what I'm seeing.
Is it $79.75? Thoughts from the council?
So, Matt, I know we spoke earlier this year. Is that on top of that price?
That was on top of it. That was something that we were just going to take out of our maintenance budget. Extended warranty.
It's like a
basically.
4-year, okay.
Yeah, it's like an extended warranty for oil change, tires, stuff like that. Filters, belts, I think it was.
John Deere has. Is it a Kawasaki as well?
That I don't know because none of their brochures actually said I'm.
Yeah, I'd fix the old one. That's how I make my money. But I have worked on that one for free, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
If I thought that it was something that we were going to, like a commercial, the value added for the John Deere, I don't know that they're that much better, but they do hold their resale value a little bit better. The Skag mower ship still had the Skag mower. I think our street department runs those and love them. They were authorized to buy one of them, and the dealership moved from Mooresville to Martinsville, and then they gave it to Plainfield Equipment. I'm not the engines. It looks like if you look at the John Deere, it does have the Briggs and the 27 horse Briggs and Stratton. I think either one of them are a good deal. I think that any one of the three are a good deal. Buy the one that's a nickel cheaper, because I think they're all that good.
Where did you see the engine on this, or you just know because of the?
Shows the Briggs and Stratton.
Oh, okay.
There is a good possibility that the John Deere also runs the Kawasaki. They've had real good luck with them. They're a good quality engine.
Stay local. I'm always a big fan of local.
Well, it's convenience too, is, if it breaks down, we're right there.
John Deere or Reynolds has been an extremely good corporate neighbor. The other two fit that same bill. I think Reynolds is just a more recognizable name. Now, the other side of it is you don't have no money to buy it, do you?
That's why I came to you guys last council meeting.
Let me ask you, Matt, what was your thoughts on any of these mowers?
I asked Dave and I asked Dave's recommendation, and Dave basically said, or commercial, not a residential, even though that we're only mowing about an acre. But again, when we took over that Toro from the street garage, they were getting rid of it because it was used and is wore out, and they were getting ready to replace it. And this one here is going to a 60-inch deck.
Will it fit in the shed?
Yeah, it'll fit in the shed.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
We all know what happens.
And then he said, if Easy Way had Skags, he would recommend a Skag right off the bat. But he said the Haltums is good, but it's a.
Well, if they're mass correct, they're right there in the ballpark. Gentlemen, have you mowed with the old mower yet?
One of the two shifts, the drive pulley basically stopped, so they had to stop mowing. And they push mowed it, but I don't know if they also had another guy bring in his own help.
Get rid of those gym memberships. And figure out where you need money as far as equipment repairs and everything like that. Comments from the council? You could probably fund that out of your,
I'm good with that. Chief, are you good with that?
Taking it out of building.
building and structure fund.
Can I ask how much is in there? I don't remember exactly.
$12.
Okay.
We tell you you're just gonna try to spend it.
Well, I've got it on my phone here. I can pull it. I know we're only into April. That's risk. I think we already have, 2,000 allotted for our painting of the doors.
Have they already done that?
They've done the fronts, they haven't.
They haven't billed us yet?
No, not for the painting, no.
From the council is the ease or the convenience of getting to them and possibly they ask, because we have three quotes in front of us, can we take one that's not the lowest and most responsive? Good reason or concern of the department head and the maintenance, the ease of getting it there. Math don't math, on which one?
On the other two bids.
If we wanted to buy it cash outright, and then if we wanted to trade it in. I really don't understand the one, explain that to you.
Tom, he said he's not gonna have enough money in the building, structure fund after he pays for painting of the doors. That's gonna come in.
Right, and that was further, when we replaced those doors, the door panels needed to be painted, so we got those painted.
We already authorized that in a previous meeting, so we can just
Okay.
roll that on through.
That for the painting also, I thought that was coming out of our
That's what I thought.
maintenance.
That's when you found they needed painted, right?
Correct. I just thought you guys had put a motion that we were gonna take it out of our. We can move it around and pay for the tractor out of CCD. You tell us.
Trade in his old lawn mower, purchase a new one with the quote through Reynolds Equipment here in Mooresville. And I think they're gonna deliver it too, is that correct?
I believe so.
Just drive it down the street.
That's it.
Is it in stock?
Yeah, it is in stock. Thank you, gentlemen.
That would be me, okay. All right, let me get this through Linda's, she's tying that into the inability to lien properties during the COVID period. And, she's saying that's the main reason for the increase on that. And based upon her facts and circumstances, indicates no reasonable expectation that. And I still think that kudos to, the utility billing department.
Well, it's high compared to 2020.
Right.
Because that was the lowest one in the last many. Is this because properties sold in the meantime and you
Well,
can't,
We did
before
have
the
two
liens could be
accounts
placed?
that got caught up in that, I mean, not two, before we could file a lien.
Yep.
And once we, and a lot of people know what that pattern is. They know what the $1.99, she's pulling that in to lien. So she's wanting to kind of,
Funds weren't collect, you meant late fees, correct?
no, it's where, we weren't able to capture those delinquent accounts because of, since we weren't charging late fees.
You have 3,000 plus customers, and you waive we do have very good people in the town of Mooresville. We have some people that know the system. You know, the old adage is, time it did, we can clean up the books and move on and hope that the next time that we have better, or deny it. No, sewer bad debts.
I'll make a motion that we approve this list in the amount of $2,876.66 in.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Shane, Josh, 5-0. We hit a perfect storm. Well, I can't say every one of them, but, what would Wesley's title be?
He is the Commissioner of the Department of Local Government and
The
Finance.
commissioner. In his words, we talked about how we didn't have any inventory, that we had a housing shortage, people were gonna be living, we did put a demand because the supply dropped off. That's elementary school, to the fact that when you talk about that neighbor down the street or the house around the corner that went up in 2000, came back and said that we're no longer going to have an assessed value, we're going to have a cash value on all of our properties. Those are above what the realtor told the people that house was worth, The assessed value in the town in the town of Mooresville grew about 19%. We talked about that during our budget. Across the county, we dropped. The entire county dropped on their tax rate, but the assessed pointing fingers. Whose fault is it? Is it the local government? Is it the town? Is it the county? Is it the library board? Is it a bad day in the state of Indiana because we got caught in this drastic increase in assessed value? We got in our coffers another $217,000. That was our levy increase for last year. Our whole budget, 7 3/4%. Those are funds that come from the balance of that comes from other. We see two. If you look at your tax rolls, we will see two debts. They said 15, 16 years ago that they would not raise their tax rate. Not raise their tax rate. Service over, you see an increase in their debt service of about 7 cents on the 100. Our county, I don't know if we need that or not. It's not my job to know whether we need that or not. The county officials felt like we needed it, and we're going to do that. That was 10 cents on the 100. General went down, the assessed value went up. What could happen, again, DLGF says Morgan County, what we could see is within 2 years, because one of the things that the state did was said, we're not going to wait 10 years, our assessed value plummet. We could see it drop 19%. Don't know that it's going to happen. Hope that we could start hitting that 1% cap, which just stops the process. Before we point to taxes, owner occupied, you have a couple of tax breaks. You have a homestead property tax replacement, and then 35% or 35% up to a 400 tax relief also. So before we start pointing fingers at them, saying it's all because they're criminal, for the simple fact that we're not going to turn our head and look down, we're going to look you square in the eye and say this is what's going on and this is why it happened. I'd be happy to take any questions or any comments from the council. Thank God, let's move on. Department heads. You know, we probably should have done that before we bought that tractor.
With the potential for street closures for those dates. We have locked in those events. The other update that I have for the council this evening is Old Town Park. Thanks to the street department, it gives us plenty of time to get our compact test and get prepped for the building's delivery late in May. August 12th and September 9th. Those will all be from 7 to 10 p.m.
on their social media.
Looking to make sure all the qualifications were met to our standards. I know earlier, prior to the council, I talked with legal counsel, gave him some stuff. I had some questions about some of our head of the game before that process is completed, and if we have to do anything on that remodel of the station, not. I was going to go ahead and get that, or what the council
Outfit it. Where do you think you're going to be?
I'm thinking it's bad. I know with talking,
But it is.
Commitment of